gun poppin' with the boys.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, generals, those who ride along with the brother, current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. Want to salute you and thank you, and welcome to another edition of EBX discussion. And been off for a few days, just living life. And salute to the beat makers of Rap Fame, which is an app in Play Store. And this particular intro here, the soundtrack in the background, is actually called Black Sheep. So salute some great beat makers on that app, and salute to the artists that I have connected with in the past. I've kind of emotionally detached from the world, so to speak, not shutting everything out, but just keeping oneself sane while we on this plane, because that's what it's about. Brother, sister, family. A salute to my biological children, my divine children, as well as family. I always say a global perspective and protection, and I call down that great protection from that great divine for ourselves and from ourselves, so we never ever become our own worst enemy, and help and add to humanity and our culture the best way one can. Salute to Lord Lamont. We didn't get a chance to do a father and son discussion Saturday. It got a little late, so we came up with some new plans to work out and to get him over here, because he does catch the bus and be walking and stuff. So I'm going to start like meeting him halfway or most of the way, pick him up and stuff so he don't have to walk. Yep, so we're going to work that out. But again, we're going to touch on some ancestral comedy, and that will be Saturday. So we're just going to make some changes, because it is a challenge for him to get over here sometimes. So I got to take a little accountability. I do have a vehicle, so I'm going to help him get over here. So yep, because I was sleepy. I was tired that day, and I fell asleep on him for one. And, I could have picked him up, but, so we live and we learn, right? No one's perfect. But so that's the plan. I'll just like meet him halfway or most of the way, and so he don't have to walk, so he can get over here. Because I think the father and son discussions are important, and we do take it serious, and we do it to inspire other fathers and sons or mothers and daughters, and it's all about that mental health, folks, as we're gonna get into. And salute to Diggable Planets. I used to say their name wrong. I used to say Digital Planets. It's Diggable Planets, and that's what's on the banner and or thumbnail. Of course, we know the song cool like that, bad like that, got divine like that, I'm black like that. I said I'm cool like that, I got it like that. Well, I mean, I messed up the words a little bit, but we've heard the song, and it takes me back to the Def Comedy Jam days. And of course, I got some summaries on Diggable Planets. And again, I used to say that name. I don't know why I used to say it wrong for some reason, but it's Diggable Planets. I think I would get it confused with Digital Underground. I would say digital, and it's not digital, because I've done tributes to different artists. I call them hip hop heavy hitters. And of course, they were on the list. So, I like to put the artists on the banner and or thumbnail and give them a tribute. So they are our tribute today. And they're still alive and they're still touring. So got a couple summaries on the wonderful jazz hip hop group, Diggable Planets. Diggable Planets. Got to get that right. So I'm going to break down some summaries on them, because they are our inspiration. But the main topic today is be proactive in maintaining our mental health. It is very, very important. And we're going to talk about the art of cool like that. Kind of relates to the song, but just being cool in life. And I'm not talking about we're looking cool or being, I'm talking about a natural persona, something that we can just do. I mean, that's something that's a melanated brothers and sisters anyway. But of course, as we deep thinkers do, salute to my righteous deep thinkers out there that's getting into the core of issues in life. But always got to throw in there, folks, don't forget to have fun, okay? Don't let ourselves become too deep, Don't be scared to have a little fun sometimes. Have some joy, because sometimes, in my opinion and or theory, sometimes if we don't watch ourselves, and I'm not saying that we do this, I'm just giving advice. Remember, I suggest, teach, and give advice. So we find ourselves becoming too deep. We become almost robotic. So we got to balance that out. Have some fun, some joy in there. Don't let this world make us where we're too deep. But that the ways and sways of the world. Parts of this world is really messed up, and it has to be discussed, has to be talked about, and broken down, or spoke about, I should say. So, Brother E, understand, overstand, and understand. So again, it's just advice. Don't let ourselves become too deep. Have fun in this life too, and hang with our loved ones, connect with our loved ones when we can. When we in our meditative deep prayer, make sure we got our families in there and call down that protection on them. Don't ask for a lot of superficial things. Just call down protection, because the great divine, Mama Nature, knows what we need, and the righteous ones will come. That's how the principles of that universe work. Keep living, as my grandmother used to say. Rest in peace and in power. We'll find out what we put out. So we're gonna get into some breakdowns of being proactive in maintaining our mental health. Real talk. So hold that thought. All right, brothers and sisters, they had to click out just for a minute. But like I said, we're going to get into be proactive in maintaining our mental health. That's most important. And again, we're going to get into the art of cool like that. We're going to get into the brothers, two brothers and a sister on the banner. And of course, like I said, I love different genres of music, and of course these brothers, Diggable Planets, they came with that jazz fusion, and this is one, they made a lot of songs, but of course this is one of the iconic ones that everybody remember. And again, it takes me back to Def Comedy Jam when Martin would used to host, and he said one of these songs, one of his jokes, so I'm cool like that, I'm fat like that. Yeah, so yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, melanated brothers and sisters, that divine creativity. So let's get into our inspiration, which is on the banner here, and little breakdown, little summary of the wonderful group Diggable Planets, and then we're gonna get into some breakdowns again of being proactive in maintaining our mental health, because it's very, very important. And again, the art of cool like that, of just being cool in this life, and like I said, it comes natural. We can, being cool is more than, again, just a persona. We can be cool in the midst of a storm. We can be cool when we see so-called chaos coming. It's just wonderful, and we just cool overall. It's wonderful. Cool, like the song. That was a song that was called Cool. I think that was what's the brother that played in Purple Rain? Morris Day. He made a song called Cool. So. Yeah, just cool, and we know he was cool in that movie, But let's get to some breakdowns of the wonderful group Diggable Planets. Let's go. The iconic 90s jazz hip hop trio, Diggable Planets, are currently on their Blowout Comb 30th anniversary tour. They are touring across North America, performing their acclaimed 1994 cult classic album, Blowout Comb, in its entirety. Current activities and tour. The group's recent schedule features multiple major stops, including a slot at the Utah Arts Festival and fall tour with Midwest, West Coast, and Canadian dates. So they're still touring, they're still doing their thing, and they haven't aged much. They still look good. As we say, black don't crack, but gotta take care of that black so it don't crack, right? All right. If we are looking to catch them live here, are some of their notable tour stops. October 16th, 2026, Madison, Wisconsin, at the Majestic Theater. Wow, I didn't know that. That's near me. At the Majestic Theater, all right? October 17th, 2026, Minneapolis, Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, at the Fillmore. It say in Minneapolis in MN, so I'm guessing that's Minnesota. If I'm wrong, please forgive me, all right? At the Fillmore, all right? October 18th, 2026, Chicago, Illinois, at the Metro, all right? Then they got October 29th, 2026, Morrison Company at the Red Rocks, let's see, Amphitheater, supporting Cypress Hill. Oh, salute to Cypress Hill, yeah. Cypress Hill kind of remind me of Wu-Tang Clan. They kind of got the same sort of vibe, and I think they're still touring too. Yeah, salute to Method Man. Great interviews. I love Method Man's interviews. All right, so there. Let me see. It said Amphitheater. Yep, Amphitheater supporting Cypress Hill. That's dope. For more dates, updates, and ticketing details, we can visit the official Diggable Planets website or check the Consequence Tour announcement. Yeah, so I just wanted to read a little bit because, again, they are our inspiration. And I love this video. I was watching it yesterday. I love the video. I love the setting. It's just beautiful. And what I got on the thumbnail, I love when it first comes on, when the brother walking down the street and the sister stands up and just start walking with him, and the brother's reading the paper and he just steps with him. He's still reading his paper while he walking with him. So that's what I mean by the art of cool like that. Just synchronize, brothers and sisters, we just cool like that. We can just synchronize when one is on the same vibe or on the same level, as far as mindset wise, even through the mix of some of our I would say righteous disagreements, disagree to agree, and focus on the real enemy. Yeah, I meant to rhyme that. That's what we got to focus on, because everyone has a little something deep within that we should conquer. Real talk, because we conquer that psyche, we can conquer the world righteously. No devil in hell can stop us when we are proactive in maintaining our mental health. All right, so that's why I do music. I always say do something we love and love what we do, and be proactive in our mental health. That's the first step in life and things, and then everything else will come naturally. But because when we got ourselves right, as we know, if we're healthy and able to, it's like a righteous ripple effect, and we can pass that energy on to our youth and those who are looking on, who are generals too, because as I said before, I say it again, I see generals in the mix, even if we don't know, we are, leader and teacher in all of us. But don't forget to stay a student, because that's when we'll flourish in this life, when we're a student of our own selves, and we'll flourish. So let's get into, I'm going to get one summary. We're going to break down about being proactive, and be proactive in many areas, but we're just stopping on the mental health, because that's where everything begins, right? That's where the battles are won or lost, in that psyche, brothers and sisters. That's the center of our universe. And as I heard a great brother say, universe. That's not mine, that's somebody else's, but it's so true. Our psyche is the center of our universe. Real talking. Again, I heard that from another philosopher, or learned that from another philosopher. All right, I always point out something I've learned from someone else, whether I say brother or sister or I say their name. All right, because we learn from one another, not take from one another. All right, so let's break down being proactive. Not that none of us don't know what being proactive is, but we're just going to break it down, get into our subconscious, because just stop on that word for a minute, because it's important, especially when it comes to maintaining the mental health. All right, and again, folks, that's for me too. So let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Being proactive means taking control of our circumstances by anticipating challenges and creating opportunities before they happen, which is very important. As we hear many times, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Facts. All right. This mindset yields key benefits, including significantly less stress. We got to have less stress or no stress at all, because stress can be a silent killer. All right. Enhance personal control and stronger career growth, and not always just a job, whatever that is, what we do to make money. Of course, it can't be illegal, but do something we love, if we're able to, or if we are working a job, take that money and invest it in something that we love to do, that don't hurt ourselves or hurt no one else. Always have above and beyond thinking, global perspective. It helps us. All right. Exploring the primary benefits of this forward thinking approach highlights its impact, righteous ripple effect. We can also help others, our children, etc., family, brother, sister in the world, online. But it all starts with oneself. It's always going to come back to oneself. I don't care how far we try to stray. At some parts of our life, somewhat time or another, we end up coming right back. I got a theory. I always say those who stray from that great divine, they might stray, but they don't stay away. We always end up coming back to our divine spirit. Facts. All right. Reduced stress. Anticipating challenges and planning ahead prevents last minute panics and lowers overall anxiety, because one don't need no anxiety. Can't think when we're cluttered with worry and anxiety, stress, and we're running. We're not taking moments to ourselves to meditate. Danger. Got to stay on point, stay focused. If it's something, I always say, if we come into a challenge that we think we may not be able to solve, don't forget about it. Keep it in our memory bank and go at it at every angle. And keep moving in this life. Don't let nothing stop us, especially if we got children, family, significant other, we are connected to someone. But even if we're single or by ourselves, our mental health matters too, because where the mind goes, the body goes. So what we think eventually will bleed out onto the physical. I've said that before. All right, so we're going to get to a hip hop break, and we're going to come back with another breakdown of being proactive in maintaining our mental health and embracing the art of just being cool, cool in life, and just cool on things that are toxic, cool on things that we don't need in this life, like celebrity gossip, trends, that kind of, be cool on that. You know what I'm saying? The art of being cool, and not that we try to be better, because I always say no one's better, just different. But ask ourselves question: am I a sheep or am I a tiger? Ponder that. So let's get to the hip hop break. And notice I said tiger, not lion, because a tiger can walk alone. A lion is not always alone. Ponder that. And with the research I've done, again, not that the tiger's better than the lion, just different. Okay, because there are differences in nature too, but they're all harmonized. That's the difference between nature and humanity. See, some of us, we don't know how to be different. We see something different or something outside of our realm. Or outside our beliefs, so to speak. Oh, it's something that's strange. That person's strange or something like that. No one's better, just different. Now, going back to the tiger and the lion. I've studied the tiger. Tiger can walk alone. Don't need no pack, but it can work with other tigers. Know what I'm saying? But that's just in their DNA. And another thing I remember looking up, that tigers are shrewd. Lion usually can, most of the time, it can work alone, but most of the time it's with the pack. And as I said, the studying I've done, it's the female lion that really keeps the children whole and keeps the pack intact, so to speak. So I would want to be a tiger. So again, we have to ask ourselves questions. Are we a sheep, tiger, or a lion? I would choose the tiger. If you were sheep, that's not good. Because I remember hearing, what's the sister that got the controversy about having doctor by her name? I couldn't believe the words that came out of her mouth. Talking about, my sheep would understand my sheep. I'm like, you look at, people are not sheep. I just want to make that clear. We are not no fucking sheep. We're not. So to a person that's looking at people as sheep, that's kind of narcissistic, in my opinion. I look at people, I told my pretty brown, Nika, I told her this, my son Ethan's mom. I don't look at us as sheep or none of that. I look at us as students leaders and teachers, or at least potential leaders and teachers, because I don't look at, we all are a general. We all got a leader within us. Sometimes we just have to do things to tap into it, or maybe be inspired by something, explore, be adventurous, find out, the good qualities that sometimes can be laying dormant. But we ain't no damn sheep, so she can get out of here with that mess. Cut to my sheep will understand, like, who the hell are you? You know what I'm saying? That's what this social media can do. It can make you get wrapped up in your own hype. I would never ever look down on people, and whether and it don't matter what status you hold. I hold everybody at the same status in my theory. Some have higher status because we got righteous brothers and sisters that have status too. We have some that maybe have some status or a platform, and some that not. I balance it out. I never look down on no one, or look at people as sheep. That's stupid. It's stupid. So to me, again, if you're looking at people as sheep, that's a little narcissistic to me. So, and I kind of, I was watching, and I'm speaking in code. It's a sister in the media. She had doctor by her name. We know who she is. I can't say her name. I don't know what her name is. But if you really look at her in these videos and these settings, you can tell she props herself up and try to make herself look all beautiful, and she this big messiah. See, that's the problem right there. When we think we're the messiah and everybody else is underneath our peasants, that's narcissistic. So gotta stay away from shit like that. See, and again, we can get caught up in this media and our social media and distract our own selves from our mental health. So that's why one has to pinpoint any issue that can be buried in our subconscious and be proactive in maintaining our mental health, because that's most important over anything. Because when we got our mental health together, we can connect with that divine spirit and mama nature and other wonderful things that's pure in our soul, and not pretending or acting. Don't act intelligent, be intelligent. Is so much better. And we can breathe in life, and not carry a bunch of tension or denial, because it's danger. All right, so let's get to the stimulation hip hop break. So I feel sorry for that sister, because you get wrapped up in your own hype. Because again, one thing I don't take for granted is those who comment and those who are looking on, besides the trolls and the robots. But I'm talking about, we got the intelligent brothers and sisters out here now. Not everybody's dumb. So we never look at no one as no damn sheep, So again, we should look at brothers and sisters and people looking on that want to learn. We look at them as students and leaders and teachers, at least potentially, because we've all been in a student space. We become a teacher, but we stay a student, so that way we won't get caught up in our own hype. If we're fortunate to have a platform, notice I said fortunate, not lucky, because luck, I don't believe in luck. I believe in fortunate. I don't do coincidences. It depends on, again, our mindset and what's in our core, how our body will move in this life. And that's facts. All right. First song is I'll Lift Your Soul. And the next one is Help My People. And I played both of these songs before, but it's been a while. Like I always say, for those who may not have heard it, or a reminder. So lifting people's soul, that's what one was, coming to that awakening to do. When we finally get to that awakening, because it's not easy having an awakened spirit. It's layers, steps, challenges, paying attention, and being humble in some areas. I always like to say, not a naive humble, but humble nonetheless. Again, if we're fortunate to get a platform, don't take it for granted. All right? Back after this. And lift each other's soul. That's all I want to do. Lift our soul, or lift your soul. All right? Back after this. Spell breakers. Salute.
My sisters and my brother, I'ma lift your soul by any means necessary. I'ma lift your soul. My sisters and my brother, by any means necessary. I'ma lift your soul. my father, my mother, no kidding, my children, no hating. It's all love and what I got is from up above. Always rock, I never stop. I love this thing they call hip hop. For you to make it through and cyber words and don't you pop. Stay great, don't be fake. We live the youth and pave the way. Teach those to reach goals and keep on just lift the souls. Yeah. My sisters and my bros. Yeah. By any means necessary. Yeah. I will lift your soul. Yeah. I know sometimes we rumble, but in this life stay humble and watch out, yeah, for mistakes. I know sometimes we fumble. Stay straight, it's never too late. Keep looking up and be great. Cause good things in this life, yeah, man, is coming on the way. I love doing this here. Be yeah, like the stuff. Cause sometimes you're in this life, man, sometimes you it can suck. But keep on, yeah, pushing up. And never don't you be down. Just look at life and be thankful that we here and still around.
Still around, still around.
I will lift your soul, yeah, by any means necessary. My sisters and my bros, yeah, I will lift your soul, yeah, by any means necessary. Yeah. My sisters and my bros, yeah. But you never give up out there. It's those that have been through the fire, and we still standing. So be that hero, and be that soldier and soldierette you are. And keep on lifting souls.
Real talk. And keep on lifting souls. I love doing music. See, music is good for the mental too. Anything that's not toxic, of course, is good for the mental. Like I say, journaling, whatever gift we have. I mean, it's a broad gift. Like I say, music is good, especially when it's authentic, it's positive, whether it's real, sad, happy. I always say music is like emotions, and we know these brothers and these sisters, and they still touring, and man, that's why they're still touring and still alive, because the vibration they carry, and rest in peace and in power to those who are not with us, and our families, our ancestors, far and near, those who are righteous warriors on this planet. So again, Diggable Planets is our inspiration today, and I thank them for the music they brought the world and the impact they gave to humanity and their culture, and they're still representing to this day. So salute, because again, they are our inspiration, and they're definitely a picture of cool like that, the art of being cool like that. Real talk, just natural. And again, melanated brothers and sisters, it's just naturally in us. But when we're doing it, when we're on a natural vibration, it just makes it that much more cooler, don't it? Cool like that. I'm black like that. I never slack like that. I got divine like that. All right. I changed the words around. But let's get to this next song, Helping My People. Because as I say in my description, I'm here for one thing and one thing only, is to honor thy ancestors and help my people in any way one can. Thus, positive word, music, etc. Anyone who wants help. It just depends on the soldiers, if you want to tap into that divine, righteous, general spirit, because that's what it's about. It's in all of us. If we tap into it, stay away from this toxic shit out here and get to that good part of us. And I'm telling you, we'll thank and love ourselves later, as well as others, the other generals we connect to. Helping my people. And again, I played this song before, but it's just a reminder, folks. And for those who may not have heard it, Helping My People. Be back after this.
Yeah, my soldiers and soldierettes. Help my people, keep them from evil. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil, they're fine. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil, they're fine. Make sure we make it through. Yeah, me and you. Just take a look around. It's too much to lose. Good relation, education, make it out without a bruise. And don't go to sleep, don't you dare hit snooze. It's work to be done, it's too much to do. And watch our kids while they in these schools. Sick and tired of bullshit, no longer fool. We live by principles and not no rules. All I wanna do is just help my people, help my people, keep them from evil. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil divine. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil divine. Make sure we get a rest and just do our best. Protect oneself and ready for any test. I haven't always been like this, I must confess. And this not checkers, this is chess. I know we hear this again and again. We gotta take the time and just go within. Be thankful for family and good friends. And we just rise, keep our eyes open wide. And gotta stay up in this fight. And keep doing right and stay purified. And so dang wise, we got that divine. And yeah, we protect it and never compromise. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil divine. Keep them from evil divine. Yeah, EBX. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil. All I wanna do is just help my people, keep them from evil divine.
Keep him from evil divine. Real talk. I mean, every word of that. Yeah, thank that great divine for the gifts we have and we pay attention to it. I'm telling you, don't leave this planet without expressing something great divine has put in us. You know, everybody has something. I always say it's a trillion and billion gifts out here. It's so stupid to fight amongst ourselves. It's always something one person can do that another one can't do, you know. Great divine, Mama Nature loves variety. Do you know how big, you know, like I always say, the earth is small. We think it's big. But to that great divine, you know, it's like a little pebble, you know. So those who have power, you know, I laugh at you, you know. So sometimes, you know, just appreciate what great divine gives us, and great divine will be right along with us. We got to align with that divine spirit. Can never go wrong. And I'm not trying to sound all spiritual and cosmic. Experiences, brothers and sisters, because the physical is just as important as the spiritual. Because knowing about spirituality is not being this invincible hero. You know, it's keeping one's psyche and mind intact, because we can anticipate the future, but we don't know the future. So we can, you know, set plans in the present and forge forward as generals do. And again, not looking at people as sheep or peasants. Got to stop that shit, you know, because again, all of us have been in a state where we weren't that aware, or we was a student before we became a teacher. It's just that some of us, not all of us, we become a teacher and we forget the student part, you know. Think we're not all. I'm not talking about the ones who don't do this. I'm talking about ones who do. We know who they are, like the sister I was just talking about the doctor by her name. And also, now we I know, like, you hear a lot of us say, like philosophers, we say you can't listen to what people say, but at the same time, we do have to have a listening ear. See, now getting caught up in our own hype, that can kind of block us from hearing things maybe we need to hear, because again, as many of us, hard truths is what got us to a firm divine foundation. Now, I'm gonna use this sister as an example. She's not really listening. She's hearing, but she's not listening. Now, it's a difference. Now, if something needs to be corrected, then we do have to listen to some things. See, that's where the student spirit comes in. See, in my opinion and or theory, the sister I'm talking about, she lost her student spirit. She went straight to putting this doctor by her name. This kind of clout chasing too. Because why can't you just go by your name? Why have to have doctor by it? See, and that's the dilemma, you know. And again, people are not dumb these days. People can feel, those who are intelligent. We in them righteous circles. We'll know who the warriors are. We'll know who the generals are. We'll know who the allies are, far and near. So, and I think she still has a little bit of learning to do. It's almost like when divine sets out a plan in our life, or any of us, different strokes, different folks. It's a process one has to go through. Some wants to press past that process and straight to the teaching mode. No, we have to go through the student process. We have to learn, be a student of ourselves to become a teacher, and we have to stay on ourselves daily. We don't just become a teacher one day and then we're perfect and all good. No, because things hide in our subconscious. So that's why we're here time and time again. One must meditate. And you on these platforms, I'm not talking, because again, we got righteous brothers and sisters who do have high status. I just want to make that clear. All right. But then we have that faction that's fortunate to have a platform and taking it for granted. See, that's what I'm talking about. We got real righteous content creators that speaking that truth and sharing things. You got different kinds, but I'm talking about the righteous brothers and sisters. You might have the comedians. You might have some that's sharing experiences, stuff like that. You have some speaking truth, but they don't take their platforms for granted. In my opinion, and nor theory, again, that sister I'm talking about, anyone listening, you know who I'm talking about. She's all over the media. And I kind of observed her. I've never commented on her video because I don't comment and I don't get in chat rooms anymore. Nothing. I do that for everybody. It's not nothing against no one person or nothing like that. I just don't do it no more, And I've emotionally detached from the old social media, but I observe and see things, and I'm not nosy. I don't go on people's channels and platforms and being known, do that shit either, because that's against divine principles. Because again, in my theory, great divine sees all. So what we think we're hiding in the dark, you're a damn fool. So I don't do shit like that. And it will come back on you. Anything that's in our subconscious that's not right. Anything in our subconscious that's good or bad. Mama Nature and that great divine will pull it out sooner or later. So we're not hiding shit. Really, we're not. The truth always comes back around, folks. That's facts. So I don't do that shit. I observe, though, and listen to different brothers and sisters and stuff, because I get inspired by people, too, because we have to listen. As I heard from a great brother, we have 2 ears for a reason. So thus, the sister I was just speaking on, see, she shut off that listening ear. See, she's too busy trying to teach and trying to be this Messiah, and so busy trying to build her platform. And she has helped some people. She's giving advice, but it's not coming from an authentic place. It's coming from a clout chase place. And she putting doctor by her name. And this another sister that had spoke that was in class with her said that the instructor specifically told her that she didn't have a license to be a doctor. She didn't. And the girl showed her diploma. She had hers. And she made like she couldn't get the transcripts and she couldn't get the paperwork and all that. And another sister that went to school with her said that was all a lie. You can easily get the paperwork and transcripts and all that. See, that's the thing about lying. See, when you're lying and shit, you got to backtrack and it's too much work. You know what I'm saying? When you're telling the truth, it ain't no work, even if one goes through a silent moment in her life. As long as you tell them the truth, keep on flowing. So the lies, the lies just grow. It just grow and grow and grow. So I observed her and kind of watched her on her platform. And again, I don't comment. I see opinions and stuff like that. A lot of times I keep my opinions to myself, and a lot of times I don't even have an opinion, So me and Lord Lamont myself, we speak on things, but I don't get wrapped up into the gossiping world and the celebrity, and I just kind of observe. So I observed this sister, and I just kind of observed her, watched her. And in my opinion and or theory, she looked propped up. She had her hair all done. You can tell she mostly focused on herself. She's not really focused on the people. Again, she might have helped some people or gave some advice. It might have helped people, but it came from a clout chasing place. It came from I'm a Messiah and you're a sheep. I'm bigger than you. It's almost like she was trying to play God, And even though sisters are somewhat of God because they create, but you can't take that for granted, And so it's coming back around to her. And just be yourself. Why you gotta have doctor by your name? I don't understand that. And like I said, the sister that went to school with her that actually has license and a diploma and all that stuff, because she showed it on camera, all her credentials and stuff. She's actually a doctor. And she said the instructor, and I'm going on what somebody else said now, and said that specifically told her that not to say she's a doctor if she's not licensed or got manuscripts. I don't know much about that stuff. I'm just going on what I heard. If she don't have the right manuscripts and all that stuff, because you got people that really worked hard to be a doctor and went to school all these years and all that stuff, and you just come along and be a doctor with just, hey, I'm a doctor, nah, nope. So just be who we are, because if we don't, and we're false and fronting, and that foundation is false, it's just a matter of time for that building to come crumbling down. I don't care how many lies we try to tell to hold it up. It's just going to get worse and worse. So that's what I see in her. I see a person who's caught up in her own hype. She's a little narcissistic and thinks she the Messiah. So that's my opinion. That's my take. But like I said, I don't comment. I sit back and let Great Divine do what it do, because that's the real Messiah and Mama Nature. Like I said, Great Divine is the masculine energy, and Mama Nature is the feminine energy, and they rule this world. They run this shit, not human beings. But we can possess some of that power, if we're not taking our power for granted. Because as quickly as we can get it, or however long we can get it, it can be taken away in a snap. Because again, Great Divine and Mama Nature run this shit. None of us run nothing. So, but we can align with it, and we'll get hinklings of that power. That's why Great Divine and Mama Nature reveals little special powers in us, sometimes incrementally. Sometimes it'll give us full-blown power just to see what we do, But that's who holds the power. And again, and never look at people as sheep or peasants or looking down on people. That's messed up. Everybody got something to bring to the table, whether they got a platform or not. And stop looking at people in these comments. Not all of them now, because we got a lot of intelligent brothers and sisters that be in some of these chat rooms and comments, and some that do really want to learn and care, and some will disagree. And I'm talking about righteous disagreements, that will, but and be thankful for those who have good comment etiquette, because we really need to learn that. But again, not everybody dumb. So that's what I think about when I'm speaking. Again, not that we don't, give in to caring about how people see us or care, but gotta be mindful. Some people in comments and chat rooms are people too. Again, I know we got the trolls and the robots. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about real, authentic individuals, that don't have a platform and support us as speakers. So don't take our supporters for granted. And again, they're not sheep. They're not peasants. They're students. I was going to say students. They're students and leaders and teachers. That's how I look at individuals and spell breakers, because we all have been a student before we became a teacher. Now, a lot of us are teachers, and those who are righteous and standing firm, we still keep that student spirit. We know what it is. So salute to the brothers and sisters, male and female, that appreciates their platform if they have one, because it's beyond the platform. As I like to say, a platform is just a place of expression. Do things outside of the platform. And I know it's good to share things and share things with people to inspire them. But as I heard a great brother say, Rizza, Islam, everything, our plans and everything don't have to be shown. Just do it, let that Great Divine move with us. And in due time, Mama Nature and that Great Divine let us shine, but righteously though, not bragging or egotistic or none of that shit. That's another thing I see in that sister I was just speaking on. She's a little egotistical, So yeah, so just be ourselves, because it's just gonna come back around and bite us on the ass anyway. As I said, we in that divine, we might stray, but we ain't gonna get away. We always end up coming back. Life is like a full circle. Facts. So do whatever it takes, and be proactive in maintaining our mental health. Know that we right in our core. I don't care how much we learn, how much education, we still got to stay on it. Because new level, new devil. Ponder that. All right, so let's get to another breakdown of being proactive in maintaining our mental health. And the art of cool like that, like the sisters and the brother on the banner here. And this intro kind of sounds like that. That's why I picked it. It kind of sounds like that, you know. I'm cool like that. I'm black like that. I'm good like that. I never slack like that. I get it good like that. I'm divine like that. You know, I had to do that. But again, salute, because they are the diggable planets. I always want to say digital for some reason, but the digital underground to salute, and rest in peace and in power to the brother that passed away. That was the leader of that group. I can't remember. Shock G. Rest in peace and in power, Shock G. I think he did pass away. And before we get, see, I got another breakdown. Let me see. It's a sister I wanted to give a tribute to before I get to this breakdown, we're going to still get into being proactive and maintaining our mental health. But let's give a salute to Dr. Gladius West was an American mathematician. See, that's why I say we have to explore different gifts. I was talking about skills and abilities on the last podcast when I was talking about I was a chef / short order cook, mathematician. I think mathematician is good because this sister, and she passed away. It was she lived from 1930 to 2026. Rest in peace and in power, Dr. Gladius West, and I'm sure a lot of people have heard of her. And it's more information on her, but in any event, she was the one that invented the GPS. She came up with the concept of the GPS. So salute to her. Rest in peace and in power, because I always gotta honor thy ancestors. And she kind of looked like my grandmother, real talk. So I think she just passed away here recently, if I'm not mistaken. She's been on this planet for a long time, 1930 through 2026. So again, she was a mathematician, and she came up with the concept of the GPS. So ponder that. Like I said, a lot of this technology, we thought of it. We came up with the concept, and wicked entities stole it from us, as well as Instagram. Instagram came up was a brother came up with the concept of Instagram, but that's a whole nother podcast, and I think he's still living. So again, rest in peace and in power, Dr. Gladius West, who was a wonderful mathematician, and she's smiling. She aged gracefully. So in her spirit will still live on through us. Yep. Again, she came up with the concept of the GPS, and I think that's wonderful. Yep. And again, salute to Diggable Planets, who's on our banner and or thumbnail, because they are our inspiration. So let's get back into being proactive and maintaining our mental health, which is very, very important, because mental health plays a part in every aspect of our life, whether we got a platform or not. Wherever we are, single, with somebody, younger, older, mental whore. I hope we ain't no mental whore getting manipulated. but our mental health is very, very important. So okay, all right, we got four statements here, and we're gonna break it down about the importance of being proactive in our mental health. All right. So let's go. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. And we are not no damn sheep, all right? We ain't peasants, none of that shit. No one's better, just different. Just had to reiterate that. All right, let's go. Enhance time management. By identifying priorities and working methodically, we gain more time and avoid the rushed decision making associated with reactivity. Yep, like impulses. Because I said in the past, with social media and the celebrity stuff and the media, man, toxic impulses are out of control. And my Uncle Terry sent me some clips. It was horrifying. I almost cried. Man, I'm not even going to mention, but it's just things that people do, and you just never know what one is harboring within. That mental health, I'm telling you, it's serious. And the clips he seen me involved a person's life, and I almost cried. One was a child, another one was a sister, her and her boyfriend. The child was being very badly abused. It was in some foreign country, and it was horrible. And my Uncle Terry be sending me stuff a lot. And another one he sent was the sister and the boyfriend was arguing, and the sister was disrespecting the brother horribly. I mean, just calling him out his name. And it was a brother that was illustrating it. He was speaking on You know, he's like, he didn't condone. It was terrible, man. And the guy put out a piece and took her life. And he took her life. She fell to the floor, and somebody saw it, and it was like, oh my God. And it was really horrifying to watch. And she fell to the street, and the guy jumped in the car. He just rolled over her. I mean, it was unbelievable. My eyes watered up. The tear didn't drop, but my eyes did water up. It was horrifying to see. So that's why I came to the conclusion of, please, brothers and sisters, I'm begging you, anybody listening, if we feel something in us or we know somebody needs it, don't just let it fester. You know, if we can't help ourselves, please get help. Talk to someone we trust. I mean, really trust. Not just anyone, not just someone we're hearing on social media. Get it out. Speak to someone. I always say use social media as a last resort. But if we have something within us and we need to deal with it, speak on it on social media, but in a kind of an intellectual way. Don't just rant and rave, but, just kind of share like we see some people do. Like I said, are intelligent people who know how to have good etiquette when we, express ourselves on social media. But, we say the best things are deep within, but also the most horrible things can be deep within. So that's why we speak and get it out. That's why sometimes doing this, podcasting, is good therapy to get things out of us. But that was horrifying to see. And I didn't want to go into too much detail. It was horrifying. So especially when one don't care about another person's life. So that's why we have to focus on our own mental health, because when we write in our mental health, we will be to see into others' lives, so to speak. We can almost read things in people, and that will prevent a lot of stuff. And it helps us with our children, our significant other, if we have one, relationships, whether it's friendship, familyship, or romantic. Mental health plays a part in all of this, so, and again, I never want to come off like I'm this perfect being. That's why we do this, so we can have perfect intentions at least, and strive for perfection, in ourselves, of course. Always be a student. Never get caught up in our own hype or egotistical shit. I beg you. All right, now let's go to that first statement one more time. Identifying priorities and working methodically, we gain more time and avoid the rushed decision making associated with reactivity. Because once we do something toxic, we can't take it back. And I always like to use this little example. We can make one wrong little itty bitty small little mistake in our life. And one toxic move, one toxic impulse, and F up our whole freaking life. And that's sad in some cases. So an ounce of prevention is worth what? A pound of cure. All right. That's facts. All right. Greater career success. And that's whatever that is. And not just working the job. Be proactive outside the job, because I'm a chef / short order cook. But I got other things I love to do, as well as Lord Lamont and with my family and children. And we do got a family event coming up here soon. So I'm looking forward to that, because the family, we haven't been together in a while. So I thank my cousin Brian for getting that together. And we're going to orchestrate it and try to make that happen. We're going to make that happen, because this probably be the last time in a long time we get together, if we can get everybody together. So I'll keep those updated, on my family. Salute to our family. Stay connected as much as we can. Of course, we got to sift through the toxic things, because we have challenges in our families too. But get that good out of there if it's in there. Don't just focus so much on the negative, depending on what it is. All right. Greater career success. Proactive individuals consistently secure better performance ratings, higher promotion rates, and greater job satisfaction, because they initiate improvements rather than waiting for instructions. Right. We don't wait for nothing. We do it, wherever we are. We start working toward that goal. Even we think it's no way, or we don't see it. Put it into motion and put it into plans. That's how the great divine and Mama Nature works. And just keep flowing through life. And out of nowhere, boom, just do whatever it takes. Don't be in the woulda, coulda, shouldas. If we can do that, skirt. Nope. Be strong, firm, always say, use a little bit of the past. Remember how we blaze through fire. So I always say a little bit of the past to help us in the present. Don't lag in the past though. And just use a little bit of it to stabilize us in the present. Just ponder just a little bit. and work toward that goal, whatever that is, but not just concerning the job, whatever that is. Remember, a global perspective, but we can learn from jobs we have worked from, get skills from it. And what, as I said on the last podcast, and begin to build our own. And if we building it with our families, children, and significant other, that's a plus. That's even better. But even if we're not, if we're single, we still can be strong within our core, be proactive in our mental. I beg you, be strong, be a soldier. We are not sheep, we're leaders and teachers with a student spirit. We ain't no damn follower. As I love to say, we changing that damn narrative. All right. We are generals, We become a teacher, but stay a student. I can't emphasize that enough. And it's something in the media I heard about a pastor a sister was speaking on. Actually, it was on Nino Brown's platform. And I always say, we learn from a teacher, but we only feel good from a preacher. Real talk. And that's becoming more evident every day. I keep hearing these horror stories about these pastors. I don't know what the fuck going on with these pastors, but they need to get their shit together. I'm talking about the ones who are being fake. Like you preach all this God stuff and God sees all, but you're doing everything under the sun. It's so stupid and contradictory. It's like contradictory at its highest, so no, we got to learn from a teacher. We need something that'll impact us and help us to see the truth. But first, within ourselves, then the world. Because if we don't see the truth within ourselves, we'll be distracted by everything on the outside. That's facts. All right, let's get to the third statement. Empowerment and control. Remember, we go beyond the career and the job and do something we love. Even if we because some of us have jobs we may not like. I actually like what I do. It's not the job. Sometimes it's the people, unfortunately, but cling to the good generals we come across, because Great Divine always sends a warrior on our path, and that can come through an adult or a child, male, female, brother, or a sister. We just got to have that pineal gland open to receive, but the righteous things now. All right. Okay. Empowerment and control, shaping our own situations, not forcing things or making things, letting things flow naturally, but shaping nonetheless our own situations builds confidence within ourselves and fosters a sense of agency, agency. Okay. Preventing complacency, right? Stronger problem solving. Acting early stops minor issues from snowballing. As I said before about the sister a little earlier, about her putting that word doctor by her name, like I said, divine sees all. I've experienced so many divine things in my life. As a Christian say believer, but I don't use that word belief. I've learned from a couple of brothers about that word belief. But quotation marks, I now believe that there's something out there that'll spank you on that ass if you get out of line. Real talk. And because Great Divine and Mama Nature is about principles and things moving accordingly. Of course, there'll be, challenges and things we have to work out within ourselves, but we work them out, get back on board, and stay on this course. And don't get that punk ass devil no room. That's why we have to pay attention to everything in our subconscious so it don't snowball. Let's snowball righteously. Let's flourish, and get to that great part of us sometimes, and not pleasurizing, not pretending. Danger, danger, danger. Because again, folks, the truth always and forever comes back around. It's inevitable. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So a lot of us have experienced this. And again, that's why we got a lot of these generals standing firm on our foundation, where we got a platform or not. And that's male, female, brother, or sister. All right. So let's get to these spell breaker statements I got 4 of them. And it kind of relates to the art of cool like that. When we just cool like that, when we are proactive in maintaining our mental health, man, we now know the art of cool like that. We cool on devilish shit. We cool on celebrity gossip and these hip hop battles and beats. It's so stupid and ridiculous. That's why I say that's another thing that'll help us, that I think is very vital for our mental. A lot of us know this, but observing things in the world and not involving ourselves in too much of it. If anything, any of it being emotionally detached, man, it's beautiful, because that's when one is truly free. When one can emotionally detach from things in this world that can pull you in. Because Anybody can get caught up in this media and or social media or our own hype. So never do that, because that's what danger. All right. Spell breaker statement number 1: prioritize self-care to combat anxiety. I made a video called Pinpoint Any Anxiety in Ourselves, Life, World, etc. Because anxiety is a cousin of stress. So pinpoint that anxiety, see where it's coming from. Learn ourselves, make ourselves just get to know ourselves really well. I'm telling you, just some amazing things will come about. But gotta get rid of the bad, uncomfortable things in our subconscious too, because subconscious is a mother hubber. You just never know what hides in there. Some of us know, some of us don't know, To my healthy human beings, all right? Spell breaker statement number 2: breathing exercises are important for the body and mind, heart, and blood flow. Because I've learned that. And it relieves tension, hidden tension in our cells, because our chest can be tight. Especially men as brothers, as I said, our chest can be tight. Learn to breathe, Inhale, exhale. And it really does work. I even do this when I'm at work. It does work. Because we know, we can feel it. No one knows ourselves better than us. Everywhere we go, there we are. We've heard that from some of our greatest philosophers. So when we feel a little tension or something rising, just take a moment, breathe, count to 10 to ourselves if we have to. It helps, It's pause for the cause, brothers and sisters. So I think breathing, just try it, and make a habit of it. Because something I noticed, because I stretch every day. Like if I don't do it, it'll pop in my spirit. Like our body gets used to it, because our body, what I've noticed, our body and mind, this could be an opinion and or theory, but it's like, we have other habits. Now think of the bad habits we have, and our body yearns for it. So when we flip it into something positive, and we're like, let's say we stretch every day or we work out, and we don't work out that day, our body will hunger for it. So that's what I'm saying. Get into the habit of meditating, getting into deep thought, not just prayers, not just asking for things. No, really get deep into that subconscious, into our deep thoughts. Be amazed what will come up. But of course, can be in denial of the toxic things that hide in our subconscious, because they do hide in there, So, but breathe. When we come into moments of maybe disagreements or we feel a little anxiety, stop, take a pause for the cause, and exhale, exhale and inhale. Just take a moment and breathe. And it works, So that's just, like I said, I suggest, teach, and give advice. So, you'll be amazed and make a habit of it. It works. But we got to be in a space where we're paying attention to things like this. We can't run and be busy all the time, because that's something else we learn. I'm not the only one that say this. Being busy, it's not actually productive. We can be productive without being busybodies. Being productive is paying attention to our mind, our psyche, things that are important, and not getting lost and running, letting time get away from us. Take time to do the things we love, the crafts we have, gifts. And that's whatever that is, Study on being a medical physician, even if we're not. Read up on it, like Nika, my son Ethan's mom. She knows all about that medical stuff. She got books on it and everything. So if she wanted to be a doctor, she could, but she's not going around telling people she's a doctor, just because she read some books on it. And that's what some people end up doing. And again, it's just going to come back around and bite you on the ass. So just share experiences. Don't try to be this big fucking messiah, So that's what happens to a lot of folks. That's why one has to observe and learn what not to do. Real talk. Especially in this media and or social media world. Do things outside of the platforms, if one is fortunate to have one. Emphasis on fortunate. Not lucky, fortunate. All right. So breathing exercises are important for the body and mind, heart, and blood flow. Facts. Spellbreaker statement number 3: become best friends with our spirit and or psyche, because that's where all the battles are won or lost. That's the battlefield, our psyche, folks. Thus, the spirit. So marry your spirit. Become best friends with your spirit. Like I said, everywhere we go, there we are. Where the mind goes, the body goes. So what are we thinking in our subconscious? What do we think about on the daily? Filter out thoughts. Really get into our core and see who we are. Stop playing with our spirit. We only get one, So, all right. Last but not least, spellbreaker statement number 4. What is amazing about us? Start there and grow and evolve and conquer our spirit righteously. What's amazing about us? Nothing that's plagiarized, nothing that's we're pretending to be. What is some amazing things that we can do righteously that impact our own lives? And if it impact humanity, that's cool too. The art of being cool like that, righteously. But that's of course, again, we get the bad stuff out of us. That's a must. That's facts. But what is amazing about ourselves? Ask that. That's a question we can ask ourselves. What is it? What is something amazing that we can give to humanity, ourselves, and/or culture? So that's a question I ask myself sometimes. So that's what we can do too. Now again, being positive isn't floating on this cloud and things are always gonna be easy, but it can bring amazing things along our path. When we know what it is, that's when life will become amazing, even through the so-called storms, because we're oak trees, we ain't no damn sheep. We righteous oak trees out here. We standing firm, on so-called shaky ground. Real talk. So again, search inside yourself. What is something that's so amazing about you? Something that just make you feel good about yourself. So study amazing areas about ourselves. So that's what I had in my spirit, and conquer our spirit righteously, and we can conquer this world, especially if we got a sister with us, because that'll make a brother or a male. When we got a strong woman standing with us, man, it make a man want to conquer the world righteously. And we have had historians that actually done that. I'm talking about righteously though. Didn't give that enemy no fucking room. We can't give that devil no fucking room. We gotta be airtight, and cling to the righteous generals out there and warriors, far and near, brothers and sisters, family, younger or older, in the world, online. And again, we are not no fucking sheep, we are potential leaders and teachers if we're not already, and we're a student, of life, nature, mama nature, and that great divine. So that's what I see in my midst. I see generals. I don't see no damn sheep. Real talk. I couldn't even believe she said that shit. And when she said that, I said, oh yeah, that did it right there. That was the proof in the pudding right there. When she said that, the fact that she said my sheep, like who the fuck are you? Real talk. So, and the most successful philosophers, those who are successful mentally, we don't look at people like that, because I'm connected to some great generals I have learned from, and that's brother or sister. And those who I'm connected to, we don't look at people like that. Real talk. Again, I look at those who subscribe and ride along and view. I look at you as warriors, spell breakers, and generals. But always the advice I like to give: never lose that student spirit, because that way we won't get caught up in our own hype. If we're fortunate to have a platform, but even if we don't, flourish in this life in whatever area of expertise we have, of course, gotta be righteous, the medical field, study that if you want to. Mathematician, be that, scientist, that too, we can do it all. We can rap, sing, and do music, and also have other gifts. I'm sure the brothers and the sisters, Diggable Planet, I'm sure they got other things they can do. I'm sure they don't just, because most people who are creative, we have, other things that we know how to do. It's just, and it's beautiful to have different skills and gifts, as I spoke on the last podcast. And don't take it for granted, folks, because it will come back around and bite you on the ass. So that was something I had in one spirit. Thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion, and look for music from myself and L'Oreal Lyrical. Rest in peace and in power. Got to go on her SoundCloud page and see if she got some new music on there. You'll be hearing music from her in the future, as well as Lord Lamont and his guitar. I'll probably play his guitar at the beginning of the podcast Saturday. We're gonna have a father-son discussion. We're gonna speak on some ancestral comedy. All right. And I think I'm going to play his guitar in the intro, the guitar session. I played it before, but that's another thing. That's a gift. Great. Lord Lamont has, I play the guitar. So, and that's good for the mental. Music is always good for the mental health. So Whatever helps the mental health, brothers and sisters, cling to it. Whether it's the real, not, if it's God, real God now, not this pleasurized crap out here. The real God, cling to it. Whatever make us peaceful and whole within and keep us sane, cling to it. Nothing toxic, please. Because I want us to have a good life, a strong life, a warrior life, righteously though, and pass it on to the next generation. Even if we single, we can be empowered. Don't be down and out. Great Divine has put us all in a season and one time in our life to think. We just got to know those moments. Some people don't pay attention to those moments when we by ourselves. Those are the times of Great Divine trying to get to us and speak to us. Listen to that divine spirit. Be amazed what will come out. Like I say, what is amazing about us? Ask yourself that. What is something amazing that I can give to the world, or right where we are? Again, it ain't always got to be on this grand scale. It starts right where we are. Nothing is more greater than a pure, righteous heart. As pure as we can possibly be. If we're aware, we're good. Stay on it. Don't get that devil no fucking room. I mean it. And like I said, thank those for coming in, brother, sister, family in the world, online. And stay knowing the art of being cool like that, righteously. And always and forever, folks, stay being proactive. And always, don't never stop maintaining our mental health. Salute. Salute to Diggable Planets. Thank you for what they brought. And Mama Nature and that Great Divine. Salute.
They got it hot with the boys.